Hello folks, in this lecture we are going to see how can we revert our changes from working directory or staging area or else in our local repository. Let's assume that I am writing some code for my project. After writing that code, I felt that I want to revert those changes. I don't want it. Then there are three scenarios. First one is you have written your changes but you haven't staged those changes, which means that it is only on working directory. Next thing is you have updated your changes and you committed those changes on staging area. At last is you have committed your changes on your local repository. Now first we'll take the first scenario where you have updated your changes and your working directory recognized those, and how can we revert those changes. I have updated a document in our GitHub repository for the same. Let's go and have a look. So this is the repository I just created, Git course, and under my Revd account. If you go and check it out over here, revert changes on Git. First thing is revert changing from working directory. Assume that we have few changes on our working directory and I would like to discard those changes. Then we can use git restore and the file name. Even you can specify multiple file names, or else git checkout minus minus file name. So both commands will work to discard the changes whatever you have done in your working directory. Or else we can manually delete the lines which we have added in the files. Identifying and deleting each line of code is quite difficult, right? So commands will help us a lot to revert those changes. Let's go and do this one on our repository. So I'm on my C projects directory. Let me take one repository. I'm taking Veloxid Git repo repository. And if I do ls, we have few files over here, and git status if I do, sorry. Okay, there is nothing to commit. Everything is up to date, but anyway to validate it, I'm just doing git pull. Make sure that if any changes are there, those changes comes into our local system. I think there is one file that is product.html. We just pulled it, and if I do ls, okay, now it's fine. And git log if I do, we have multiple commits over here. Let me increase font size. Now what I want to do is, now I want to update one file and create a file. So ls, here I am updating my index.html. So I should keep it as a h2 only, not h1. So by mistakenly I have saved this file, and also I have created a file called file1. Okay, so now I have done two changes. One is I have created a file, another one is I have updated a file. And if I check git log, sorry, git status, these two changes are appearing in our working directory. It is in red color, nothing but it is just in working directory, not yet added to your local repository. If that is the case, what I can do, I can go and modify my file to keep it back. Okay, so if I go here and just I will remove this one, and if I do git log, sorry, git status, now it is not showing index.html. It is showing as a file1 only. Okay, again I am adding the changes to my index.html, that is h1, welcome to our company, and closing as a h2. Here I have added only one line, so removing is quite easy. But assume that if you have multiple files you have updated and you don't know which lines you have added, in that case we can use git restore command and followed by your file name. Okay, git restore doesn't work for the files which we newly created. We can just go and delete these files, right? There is no point of reverting changes on this one, but let's try that one. And you can see git status if I see now. Okay, yeah, because of file1 only, because file1 is just now created, so git doesn't know about the file1. So let's just give index.html, and if I do git log, sorry, git status, you can see here it is not showing, and file1 I just remove rm-rf file1. Now my working directory is clean. Okay, so there is no commits at this moment. This is how we can revert changes on our working directory. Now let's test with git checkout command as well. So I'm editing index.html as a h2. So I have introduced a bug over here, git status. It is available over here. I want to see what are the changes I have done. Okay, I could see that git index.html, and this is the line I have added, and this is the bug. Now I would like to revert it back. Then git checkout minus minus index.html, and if I open index.html file now, so the new line which we have added is not there, and also if I do git status, okay, it is clean. So this is how we can revert our changes from working directory. In next lecture, we are going to see how we can revert our changes from the staging area as well as local repository. Thanks for watching and see you there.